It's not that, you know what I mean? People don't know about, visiting different radio stations and shaking hands with DJs and networking and doing all. Nowadays, you could sit in your basement and make a hit and get rich overnight. You know what I'm saying? So you've kind of seen that side of it.
I have. I mean,
how is it adjusting now to the new side of it?
I'll be honest with you, man. It wasn't so much of a change from me musically, because I create often. Like I'm in the studio.
So you stay in the studio?
I'm in the studio every day, to be honest with you.
There you go.
I record. I mean, the big studio, I'm recording 3-4 times a week. I'm recording in my home studio daily.
Okay.
So I mean,
so you got a home studio too?
Yeah.
You ain't playing around.
I'm a workhorse. You know what I'm saying? I create often. I was in the studio last night making something new that I got for you to play after we get off air.
Let's do it.
In terms of the change in the trajectory of the time frame, what's changed is the business model and how you go about marketing and promoting yourself.
There you go.
But the work ethic, that ain't changed. I've always been a workhorse. I've always been a person that's not about talking. I've always been a person that's been about showing.
There you go.
I always just respected the timeless music. So you said something that was key. You've been grinding for a minute trying to get in. And what's changed? For me, musically, I've just I figured out a way to marry this new sound, this new 808 trap, melodic hooks,
yes sir,
mixed with bars and that real talk.
Yeah.
So I figured
Because
out
you come from that era. You come from bars era. Like, we got to spit about something. We got to talk about something.
It got to be about something.
We ain't just talking about sipping on this and smashing that and doing this. Like, you're ball heavy. Like, you're a lyricist. Can we say that?
Facts.
All right, let's go. So
Facts.
how do you talk to me about that? You bring up a good point. How do you marry a lyricist? Because lyricists are not really winning out here right now.
That's super
Shout out to
facts.
YBN Corday.
Yeah,
Shout out to the Kendricks, who kind of the J. Coles. They kind of seem to be, especially YBN Corday, because that boy's a youngin' and he sound like he from the late 80s, the 90s, the 2000 era.
He does.
But how do you, especially where you came from that? So you're almost setting stone, and we find it difficult for people who came from that ball-heavy era to kind of be like, damn, I got to switch up to, like you said, the 808. So talk about that.
I got a magic trick.
I
got a magic trick.
You going to let it out from the air for everybody?
Yeah, I'll let it out. I'll let it out. Because it's something that you would have to experience in order to even know the magic trick.
Okay, talk to him.
So the magic trick for me is really, you could call it a magic trick. Others would call it a blessing. So in my hood, outside of G-Eyez, they call me Tex.
Okay.
Right? So Tex was a hood name that they gave me that was short for Texas. So the magic trick was, I'm born in Cambridge, the port to be exact. However, I had a portion of my life where I was raised in Houston.
Okay.
Right? So that upbringing that I got in mixing between these two cities.
Gotcha.
I was open to this southern sound way earlier than people out here were.
I see
But
it.
I was bar driven though. So when this era came to be popular and the South came to be the dominant region in terms of the way the sound of music is, I was bumping this 10 years before the people out here was even So when this era came, I fit in it like a glove. I'll be honest, when my early rap days, the early G-Eyez, if you heard old freestyle tapes of me,
what was you riding on slabs and all that?
Yeah, you would think I was from Houston. The way I flowed, the stuff I talked about. It was when I moved back to Boston where I was able to hone the lyricism, get back into this conceptual art making in terms of how I made the art.
Gotcha.
And then when this era of this southern dominant sound came, I figured out a way to marry those two. But what it was the people out here really only knew me for this bar driven boom bap sound.
Yes, exactly.
But I was creating other styles. So I'll put you like this: I'm a very versatile artist in general.
You can adapt.
And I adapted. I study the theory of Bruce Lee, right?
Okay.
So Bruce Lee says you got to be like water. And essentially what that just means is that water is able to conform to whatever
flow around things
that you put it in.
Yes.
Yeah, you put it in a bottle, it conforms to that.
Yes.
You put it in an ocean, water conforms to that. You put it in a cup, it does that. I'm able to do that with my art form.
Okay, that's dope. G-Eyez is checking in right here. You know what it is? Late Night Drip, Jamming 945. My man is Bruce Lee in us right now, man.
You know.
So you found a way to kind of marry your styles together. I gotta ask your influences since you was in the South and you kind of had that Southern twang, or that Southern style. Who in the South were your heavy influences when you was listening to music or when you was in that space creating?
So when I was, there was different Southern eras, right? But in my earlier conceptual stages, it would probably be any of your Houston rappers that were Houston rappers.
Well, we talking like the Bun B's,
So we talking about the Bun B's, but for me it was really anybody. So I lived in the South Side of Houston, Texas.
Gotcha.
So the South Side is where a Screwed Up Click, DJ Screw, Lil Kiki, Big Mo, man, Fat Pat. Like these are this is the era of those underground screw tapes that was on the gray Maxell tape that was coming out.
Taking it back now.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that era of those Houston artists were the Houston artists that influenced me. But then later on...
But then you moved to the East Coast.
Well, but even before that, it became your 8-Ball MJGs.
There you go.
Your 666 Mafias. That was the era. Your Bone Thugs and Harmony.
There you go.
And those are more Midwest artists, but that was more my Southern
But they had that sound too, a little bit.
They had that sound, exactly.
So you moved back to Boston.
Then I moved back to Boston.
You come to the East Coast.
And
who started influencing you on the East?
Biggest artist that I could tell you that comes to mind. When I heard Nas Illmatic, changed my life.
Really?
Changed my life.
So Nas was the one.
Changed my life.
Okay. As far as what? As being able to put bars together, metaphors and all of that? Like, what was it for him that kind of was like, whoa?
So first and foremost, I got to shout out my big cousin Leon. When I got to Cambridge, right, he was like the first initial big cuz that would put me on to this era of music, right? I looked up to him. And rest in peace, my cousin Sean. I looked up to these two guys, right? So Sean, unfortunately, was always in and out of jail, kind of serving. He was in that life. And Lee was a ball player, right? He was a little brother, but they was both older than me. So I remember coming through back to Boston and him being like, yo, you heard of Nas, T? And I'm like, nah. T, for text, right? So I'm like, nah. So he's like, yo, you got to check this Illmatic tape out. So I'm listening to it. And I honestly, Fawn, I had never heard anybody put words together like
just
that.
Just the way he does, yeah.
It's unfortunate now because I hear younger cats compare him to other guys that I like to this day. I'm not even gonna go into that conversation.
No, we about to though.
But I hear things that disappoint me.
Okay.
Because
as far as the comparisons to Nas? Because we talking like a top 5 or something like that?
Because of the comparisons, and because I feel like each generation, there's always this top 5 talk, the greatest talk.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer that it's a generational thing, right? So in your generation, you could say the top 5 was these guys.
Yeah.
The top 5 is these guys.
Course, yep.
It's difficult to say what the top 5 is and then culminate all of the artists that been here.
Because if you think about it, even like ball playing, right? You can't put Bird and the Shaqs and the Charles Barkleys and the Magics and the Jordans. Like everybody always trying to compare Jordan and James. And I hear your point. It's like they played at different eras of their time. The game was different for both of them. So it's hard to kind of say, hey, who's who? Like who's bigger than the other one? Okay, I hear you.
I mean, you take it to account, like, because you say something like that, you compare, right? So now the new comparison is LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, right?
Yes.
Which is okay. I get the fair comparison. But what about the Bill Russell? What about the Dr. J's, right?
Exactly.
Where do they fit in?
Exactly.
Right? So when we talk about the era of people from the 70s, they're like, okay, we respect Jordan, but our Michael Jordan was Dr. J.
There you go.
Right? And then the era before that, our Dr. J was Bill Russell.
There you go.
So, it's
every era
difficult.
got its own goats and stuff. I hear you.
It's difficult.
I hear you. So we're going to get into your top 5 later.
Facts.
Because you got to give us that since you brought that up.
I will.
But now we fast forward. So you become ball heavy. You got your Southern influence in you. 2009, you start making projects. Fast forward to now. Now you got more projects on the way. You starting to make a resurgence. You figured out the game as far as being able to I know how to connect with people now, because everybody's on this, and I'm holding up a phone for people who can. Everybody's on the phone. So how did you as an MC from that era kind of figure out I know how to connect with these youngins? How are we connecting with these youngins in this era?
Consistency. Consistency.
See, I like this.
Yeah, consistency, man.
I brought you up here, bro.
Man, I love you for that, man. Nah, listen,
That's
man.
why I brought this guy up here.
Man, listen, man. Consistency. Shout out the team. Shout out the members that are around me that keep me. I got a couple members here. Shout out to everybody that's around me that keep me
Grounded?
Keep me grounded.
Focused?
They keep me focused, but most importantly, they keep me consistent, right? So at times when I may feel like I'm not motivated, or I may wake up and I got life. Life has a way.
Life happens.
Yeah, exactly. Life has a way of throwing curveballs at you, right?
Yeah.
But I got a strong network of people around me that make sure that even at those times, it's like, yo, G, where we at? What you working on? What's new? What we doing? Yo, you gotta come out.
They keep the fire under you.
They keep me going.
Right.
Yo, you been in the crib. You gotta come out. There's something going on tonight. Pull up. This is how you like stay. So it's these individuals that are around me, in the team that keep me focused on the task at hand, and I'm just a competitive person. Like I'm competitive not with the game, not with the competition. I'm competitive with myself.
There you go.
Right.
I'm trying to outdo yourself.
I'm trying to outdo me. Pause. But you know what I'm saying? Like I'm every time I get in the studio, it's I had somebody ask me, what's my favorite record? It's the record I haven't made yet, because I'm always creating. I stay consistent. I try to outdo what I've done before. And in that allows me to remain consistent, because I'm never getting comfortable on my accomplishments. And then on top of that, I'm not where I haven't reached the level of success that I, in my mind, feel like I should be at.
What's that? What's that level? For you, what would it be that level of success?
For me, the destiny that I'm going to speak to fruition is a household name. My goal is to be one of the great. And I say that from a standpoint of not just music, but business, entrepreneurship, community aspirations. I'm a man of the people.
There you go.
I don't just have a musical drive. I have a drive to push the people. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I just did a small business event in Roxbury, where I pulled together a bunch of small business networks and did an event for the community that kind of like pulled young teens and teach them about business, and teach them about how to open up a business, and how to get a tax ID, and how to operate and own, like ownership.
You're trying to show the youth the right way. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? For me, outside of the music, I also own a music publishing company, where I've been able to write music for film and television, and I've got music on some of your biggest platforms.
And I wanted to talk about that, because I've been hearing that you got some placements on some really good looks. I'm hearing ESPN, some shows on what, on, is it Showtime, HBO, what?
Yeah, so I got music on ESPN Sports Center right now that usually plays. I usually hear myself every few days or so.
Fam, how does that feel, cuz?
Man, it's a blessing,
because that's not an easy task. For people who's really in the music business, that's not easy to get a placement like that.
It's been a blessing, man. I mean, it's just hard work. You know what I'm saying? I there's no real secret to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just been hard work. I mean,
but let's keep going. So you got placement on ESPN. What else we got placement
on? I'm on. I mean, to be honest, I got a number of them at this point, but I'll just round off what I can think of at the moment. 13 Reasons Why, which is a show on Netflix. The Best Damn Car Show. Power.
What episode of Power? You remember?
Power, I believe it's the second or third season. I don't know. Yeah, dog.
But it's on there.
Say
no more. We'll research that.
Power. Music Moguls, which is a show on VH1 that had like Dame Dash, Jermaine Dupri, and Pharrell, when they were like, they did like a.
My man out here flexing on him.
Yeah. I mean, I got a number. I mean, and then on top of that, I got a few film placements. I mean,
how do you
publishing company? It sounds great, and it sounds real well spoken and polished over.
Yeah.
But it didn't start like that for me. It started like, I was I'm such a competitive person with my music that it didn't start like that. It started like an opportunity presented itself, right?
Copy.
And it was like, yo, would you be interested in doing a couple songs for film and TV? And at first I'm like, nah, I'm straight. Well, my music is my music. I'm putting it out to the public. I'm gonna do what I want to do with it. And they was like, all right, well, if you're ever interested in doing it, G-Eyez, let me know. So a few months pass, an opportunity comes again. Hey, yo, G, I know, I've spoke to you before, but another opportunity came across my desk. And, if you'd be interested in it, just want one or two songs. And,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? Times had changed. They was offering a bag for the situation.
Okay.
At the time, I needed the bag.
Okay.
And I wanted the opportunity. So I said, you know what? I'll do 2 songs. So I did the 2 songs. Got the quick front end bag, and those songs ended up getting major placements. It just so happened.
There you go.
So that ended up opening me up to say, oh, maybe I'm sleeping on this. Maybe there's an opportunity for me here where I could utilize my writing in the skill set I've been blessed with to be able to provide music for other film and TV opportunities.
Yeah.
Also for major label artists and other things that I'm trying to open up to. So to answer your question, it started off as an opportunity.
Someone reached out to you.
Someone reached out to me. And then it kind of went to, once I got the reach out, then I started to establish relationships in that field, and then I started to reach out. And then it went from, okay, you know what? Let me open up a publishing company, because that's where the real money is outside.
What year is this? What year is this that you opened up your publishing company? You remember?
I opened up the publishing company 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years ago.
And again, just an example, and this is why I wanted to bring you up here, because not only are you an MC doing your thing, and you've been doing your thing for a long time, right? Yeah. And then you talk about coming from the South, and we all know how the music business goes.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's going to make it.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be on the top. You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody was on the top, then there wouldn't be no GOATs.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But you find a way to make your music work for you, which is what a lot of kids and a lot of people who are artists don't see. You know, big things now is merch. Like everybody's into their merch.
Which shout out. But
my man
I bless him. It's a couple in this. It's a couple items in there for you.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to look at these and get these on the camera, and we're going to post them on the gram and all of that.
Yeah, it's a couple items in there.
You know, merch, we thinking about merch. We thinking about, like you said, placements. Like that's able to sustain you. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a bag that's going to sustain you. Help you build a studio, help you get studio time, help you shoot videos. And people got to understand, like, it's not, you don't got to be just in front of a mic and on a stage and on the radio just to be successful. You can really be successful doing behind the scenes thing, quiet as kept, and just get money. And then do that to build whatever you need to build. Right or wrong?
100% right. I mean, you know, outside of, so to kind of collaborate or piggyback on what we were just both speaking on, you know, the publishing company kind of came from an opportunity. And it wasn't like a light bulb flashing moment, right? It was just more like I became hip to where the game was moving.
Exactly.
And I understood where the money was coming from. You know, as an artist, and this is, you know, all the artists that are listening to this, really tune in close. As an artist, the money, unless you're a major triple platinum top 40 artist, the money doesn't come from the music.
No, don't.
The money comes from the merchandising, from your live shows, and from your publishing. That's where the money is, in your endorsements,
and
of course,
touring.
Right?
That's why everybody, their mother is touring.
Exactly.
365. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I mean, you know, if you and so speaking of touring, I'm also a partner in a booking agency called Capital Front Booking.
Okay.
And so that basically, these companies, the publishing company allows me to get my music out to the public, and then also write music for other film, TV, and other artists as well. And then the booking agency allows me to book tours for myself.
There you go.
So I just came back from Atlanta, did A3C, an official A3C stage too, not like a sideshow, not some like this was I was on an official A3C stage.
There you go.
This is the 4th year I've been to A3C. Also do South by Southwest every year. This will be like the 5th or 6th, maybe even 7th year.
Do you like it nowadays, though? Let's talk about South by Southwest. Do you like what? Because I kind of feel like what South by Southwest has become, it's kind of like a not a gimmick, but it's like a vibe. It's a hype. You know what I mean? It's something for the gram. You know what I mean? Before it was like nobody knew about it, and if you was there, you was bubbling. Now it's like everybody wants to go to South by.
I can break it down for you because I was coming from the earlier days, and when I say early, I've been going for like about 5, 6. It's maybe like my 5th, 6th year.
I'm saying the last 2-3 years, maybe 2 years even. It's changed.
No, it has changed. It has changed. I mean? So I'll be candid with you. In the beginning, like the first couple years I went, it was very grassroots. Grassroots.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It was very organic.
Exactly.
You know, you had more of your independent artists, and then there was a sprinkle of mainstream artists. What's happened over the past, I say, 3 to 5 years is it's kind of shifted. So now it's become more mainstream and less grassroots or less organic, if you will, right?
There you go.
there's a gift and a curse with that. So, because I know where you're going with that, right? So the curse is that, yeah, it is overly commercialized now. It's not as conducive or welcoming
or
for
exclusive.
your exactly. It's not as exclusive or as welcoming for your indie artists anymore.
Yeah.
The flip side to that coin is that it's one of the only places as an indie artist that you're able to go to and rub shoulders with your mainstream artists in a direct way.
Okay.
Right?
Direct contact.
In direct contact, right?
Gotcha.
So I don't gotta go through an entourage to meet this X person I've been seeing on TV here on the radio. I don't gotta go through a manager, a booking agent, an assistant, the right-hand man that's always with him, the shorty that be traveling.
Direct to the
I see son right with me. He's walking down the street. They block off. So what happens is South by Southwest, they take, it's in Austin, Texas, by the way. They block off 6th Street, which is a long street. For all of those in the Boston region, that would be like blocking off a portion of Mass Ave.
There you go.
Right? And then everybody's just walking up and down the strip, in and out of different locations. And you going in and you going to different shows. But what's happening is, because they're blocking off these streets, everybody's just networking with each other. You're walking right past your biggest mainstream artists. You're walking right into the venues they're at. They're accessible. You're able to, yo, what's good, such and such. Take a copy of mine, whatever. Here's my business card. Here, you're able to literally see these guys and connect on a personal level.
There you go. So you feel it's still beneficial for indie artists to go out there?
I recommend,
if you're trying to network?
Listen, if you're an indie artist in this day and age, and you're not going to South by Southwest, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I say that with keeping in mind that it has become an overly commercialized, overly.
So it's going to be more crowded than it used to be a couple of years ago.
It's way more crowded.
But it's still beneficial.
If you're an indie artist, super beneficial. If you're not going to South by Southwest, if you're not going to A3C, I may question how serious you take this.
Okay. G-Eyez is in the building talking that talk, man, a.k.a. Tex. We on that Jam 945. You know what it is, that late night drip. All right, so let's fast forward to your project that you got coming out, which, by the way, is coming out at midnight. So it's around the corner. If y'all tuned in, man, the video's dropping at midnight. We gonna drop the song, if that's okay. I don't know how you got the publishing deal and all of that set up.
No, please.
You know what I mean? So at the
do.
end of the show, we gonna drop the joint. But Sacrifice, talk to me about this project.
So what it is, it's actually, so Sacrifice was actually a single that I put out, which basically was kind of like a reintroduction to the music that I was bringing to the public. But the new single that's out now, that's the video that's releasing at midnight, is called Inspired. And so what happened is, I'm a very versatile artist in the sense that I kind of like to make all different types of music, right? The newer age sounding stuff, the commercially successful music, all the way down to the music. I call it music with a message. right? So a song
still true to the bars.
Exactly.
There you go.
So a song like Sacrifice, which is what you mentioned, but specifically speaking, the new single, Inspired. These are songs specifically inspired. It's music with a message, right? So for me,
the titles of them kind of
exactly
give it away, right?
It's a powerful title.
You know what I'm saying?
So with me, I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to give the people something with some substance, right? I knew that it wasn't going to be commercially successful on the level where it may stand up next to the top 40 artists, but I wasn't going for that with this record. I was going for, or this song rather, I was going for carving out my own niche, carving out my own lane, right? I believe that that there's a number of different ways you can approach this game, and there's no right or wrong way, right?
What you're doing, by the way.
Exactly. Everybody has their own method, right? So what works for me may not work for the guy across the street, and the guy across the street may not work for the guy across the street from him. So for me, specifically speaking, what I've come to understand is that the people love all of the music that I do, but when I give them something with some substance, they seem to gravitate toward that. And then it allows me. I kind of
feel like that's your lane, though.
You know what I mean? No, that's facts. That's facts.
Like when I hear your music and I hear you in that pocket, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm vibing out to. Like I can rock with this right here.
And I apprapprut that.
You know what I'm saying?
I really do, man. And so to make a long story a long story, I put out the single, and then what I was trying to figure out was, how could I market and promote this single as an independent artist, outside of the box,
of course,
of what your indie artist is doing now. So I sat down with the team, and collectively we came up with a concept, right? And so the concept was, we took the word inspire and we broke it down into an acronym, right? And so the first word,
y'all listen up, man, because this rollout was crazy. All right, y'all listen up.
So basically, in a nutshell, the first word for inspire was integrity. The N in inspire was nobility. The S was success. And so we broke down basically every word or every letter of the word inspire stood for something. And then what I did is I shot a series of 7 commercials. And each commercial was starring a sports athlete and basically in an inspirational visual form.
Exactly.
And so the I had a boxer.
Yeah.
The N had another sports athlete.
Yeah.
The S had another sports athlete. And so I completed the series of 7 commercials to inspire the youth, inspire the culture.
And mind you, in each commercial, they talking about the inspiration, right?
Yeah,
they inspire you to do something.
Exactly.
So it kind of ties in all together that all letters of the word became, however many letters
7,
that is.
7, yep,
7 spots. But
yep.
each one is showing you the boxer, like the box I like, the dude at the track or whatever. Or you know what I mean? So each commercial or each, they almost look like videos to me, but each joint was a message of inspiration. And then it all ends with the E.
Exactly.
Which now becomes a song, which is Inspire. Dropping at midnight. The video is.
Exactly.
The song's already out.
Yeah, so the song is available on all your streaming platforms. Please, man, go to your Spotify's, your iTunes, your Apple Music's, your Titles, your YouTubes.
All of it.
Download that. Add it to your playlist. Most importantly, the playlist, I understand how important streaming is in this day and age.
Yes. It's pretty much the game now.
Exactly. So all those who are able to hear my voice right now through these airwaves, make sure you go to these streaming platforms and type in G-Eyez. That's G-Eyez. Type in Inspire. You'll get a chance to listen to the song. And then at midnight, the video itself will be available on YouTube. And for the most part, the visual itself is a culmination of the commercials.
There you go.
Using separate footage that some footage that you've seen in the commercial, other footage that you didn't. And then I did some additional aerial drawing. You'll see. It's
locations?
cinematic.
Talk to me about the locations, because you picked some dope locations too.
Yeah. So the actual commercials or the athletes was shot in a number of different locations. Mostly all of it was shot in and around the city of Boston. Right. In some of the outskirts and different locations like that. The main performance scenes in the video, I shot at Harvard Stadium.
I saw that.
And so, did you get a chance to check out the video yet?
I've seen pieces of it.
Okay. So the main performance aspect of the video was shot at Harvard Stadium. Big shout out Jenny Thatch. That's my shooter. Big shout out R.I.P. Adam. That's my other shooter. And we just working, man. We just working.
I love it.
We just working.
I love what's going on. And like I said, I wanted to bring you up here. I mean, because again, just doing the research on you and just seeing like, yo, my man got publishing. Like, you're doing a lot of things that other people I don't think to do. You know what I mean? Artists, if y'all listen, y'all got to know y'all can get a bag without really being in front of a camera or being, the MTV Jam of the Week. Everybody wants to do that. Don't get me wrong. You want to see your video up there. But remember, on that journey to get up there, there's so many other things that you could do. There's so many other bags that you could grab to even help your career even further. Because at the end of the day, like you said, streaming is a big thing, but also money is a big thing. If you ain't got a bag to put out and do what you need to do, your career, you might not get lucky like these kids in the basement. You know what I mean? You know something. I don't want to cut you off, but something I say, man, to the youth and to all the artists that are coming up after me, under me, all the younger kids that are listening to this. The artists that you see make it through the I guess I would call it the overnight sensations, the SoundCloud artists and things like that. I got no knock for any of that. I got no knock for the newer age music. I'm not that artist, man. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I want things to sound like this. I'm not stuck in the past. I'm not stuck in none of those ways. What I will say is this though. The way that somebody else makes it may not necessarily be the way that you make it. Not at all.
Also, if you see an example of somebody who makes it through, let's say, what you would consider overnight success or SoundCloud or whatever way they get in, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way you gonna get on.
Yeah.
Right. And so what I see too often is that if an artist gets in the game and is able to make it through what I would consider maybe a shortcut route, and then people emulate the end result.
Yes.
Right? They don't understand the work.
You don't know what went on behind the scenes. Like, if you ain't never heard of me, you might have thought I just jumped on the radio and I got this night shift, but you don't know how many years it took to get to this point. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, bro, I've been grinding for 10 plus years to even get this little bit of shine. Yeah. And I ain't even where I want to be, and you're the same way. You know what I'm saying?
That's where we align, obviously, in a lot of different ways. But that's, first off, man, I want to congratulate you.
Thank you, bro.
I've watched your growth. I've watched your consistency, my brother, and I've watched your rise to this level. And I feel like for people like yourself, this is long overdue, man.
It's long overdue.
It's long overdue.
You know what I mean? And we ain't done neither.
And that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
You know, to finally get a chance to come here, and it would only make sense that I did it with you.
Of course.
You know, because I respect the hustle that you put in to get here, and I respect your work ethic. Most importantly,
it's likewise.
And
Feelings mutual, my brother.
Man, I appreciate that, man.
And you know what I like about someone like you is like, you know, a lot of artists will pressure you, be like, yo, can I get my song on the radio? Yo, take my song and play this. You know, you never really pressured me like that. It was never, you know, we built.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I just started supporting you at the Blue because I forgot what song I posted. And I seen it. I was like, "Oh, this is fly."
That was Sacrifice.
And I threw it up there.
And by the way, I want to thank you for that.
I didn't reach out to you.
No, you didn't.
I never was like, "Yo,
you gave me my first
and we got
iHeart
connections,
channel.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gave me my iHeart channel,
there
man.
You go.
And for that, my brother,
hey.
you know, I'm man. Listen, I'm a very loyal person, sometimes to a fault.
Award or some kind of award or something going on. You know what I mean? But yeah, G-Eyez is in the building. The the video's about to drop.
Yeah. So to conclude, man. The video's dropping at midnight. Inspire the video will be available, and the actual song is available on all your streaming platforms. Big shout out to the team. There's too many of y'all to name, and I don't want to leave anybody out. But what I will say is the publishing company CMB Publishing is up and available for all of the film and TV companies listening. Reach out to your boy. For all of the artists in and around the city and all of the I guess what we call the major streaming platform artists. I'm here. I got records for y'all. Let me know. The publishing company, or excuse me, the booking agency, Capital Front Booking. Big shout out Chris Davis. And you know, the whole team, man.
And you can't forget, where can they find you, bro? Where can they be? Let them know where they can follow you so they can connect.
So yeah, I mean that's actually the most important thing,
bro. You should.
That's exactly.
Not one follow them.
Yeah. No, that's the most important thing. So you can actually follow me on G-Eyez Music. So I'm really straightforward. It's really uniform. So G-Eyez Music is G-Eyez Music MUSIC, and that's all of my. That's everything. That's my IG. That's my Facebook. That's my Snapchat. That's my all of your social media platforms is G-Eyez Music. So follow me there. I mean, you know, the rest is history, as they say.
And there you have it, man. My brother G-Eyez is in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Video's about to drop in a few minutes, but let's get into the new song. I'll let you introduce. It's not really new, but introduce the joint and
So I mean, for the public it is. So the new record, Inspire, is out now. Check it out. Turn it up. Feel inspired. Get inspired. Lock in.
All right, let's get into Inspired right now. You know what it is, DJ Phone G-Eyez, the late night drip on a Thursday. Why not? It's jamming, baby.
Chill.
Yo, man, love, man.
So love, my brother.
Man. Appreciate that. I love it.